Mm-hmm.
Warming up.
Yeah, I'm gonna prep this too. Oops, I'm in a work folder.
Manually resharing links. Choo. We haven't started the new group. No.
No. So officially, if there's a new group, it's just Mitch and the other person. Screw off my typing game here. Wait.
Mm-hmm. Resharing links. Okay. Links reshared.
Yeah, I'm catching up on my end to also share.
That's interesting. Someone posted, recently discovered my piracy side. Was wondering if there's any 24/7 online 7C game.
Hey, Nikki.
So he's looking for someone who's running the game any time of the day.
Why?
That's intense. Ain't it?
24/7 online game. Yes. That is a lot of gaming.
I haven't checked the thing you sent me, Nick. I will do so after the show. I don't want to affect our bandwidth.
But yeah, so the usual, please like this video, share with friends, help us get the stream kind of audience rolling. If not, we'll still talk. Oh, Nikki also tagged you in something else.
We'll check it out. I wonder if that's here or Twitter or something. I'm not sure. I'll have to look. Weekends. They go so fast.
The automatic bassinet.
Interesting.
Hello, hello. We lost connection already. Well, better now than later, I guess. Wow. Wow. Uh-oh.
Okay, we're back. We're back. Gosh, that was so early. But it's the 9:15 mark. So it's very odd.
But there's no pattern. 9:10, 9:15, 9:30, 10:10, 10:11.
Well, I guess we might as well just start.
Lazada 66, 77, 88, 99.
Okay, I guess we might as well start. Let's do this.
Okay, what?
Oh yeah! Really great!
Hello, everyone. This is Toby.
I'm loading captions, and this is Rocky.
And if it's your first time here, welcome to Baduy Pride, a little space on the internet where we talk about anything we want.
It is completely unscripted and not entirely accurate, but at least it's honest. Join us as we talk about everything and anything random live.
And if it's not your first time here, thank you so much for joining us again. This is a check-in episode. Basically, they're episodes where we just reach out, make sure everyone's okay, and they're episodes to help us stay sane.
Yeah, and we'll probably just go over like updates, I think, from the last week or
Mhm.
so, because it's actually been a very colorful week for us, for weird reasons.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's today. It's quite light, but yes, in case you were wondering, or if you weren't keeping count, today marks the beginning of our 64th week in community quarantine. Regardless of whether you want to call it ECQ, MECQ, GCQ, MGCQ, hallelujah, we've been in it for 64 weeks now. It started as I guess, I figured the counting would come to an end sooner or later. It is later.
We're laughing because it's not funny.
Yeah, that's the thing. Okay, so and I hope all of you still are doing okay. This week, well, I guess first marking last week is that I got my first. Yeah, last weekend, not this weekend. I got my first vaccine shot, so that was something. I'm glad I was eligible because of my asthma. Uh, and then pro and con, Toby does not have a comorbidity, so is not yet eligible.
Well, I do.
Oh, you do, but yeah, but it's not
But
on
it's
the
not-
list of comorbidities.
It's not listed here for some reason, but sleep apnea is listed as one of the comorbidities.
Oh yeah, because like we were looking at, because originally it was labeled as chronic respiratory diseases,
Mhm.
and then technically sleep apnea.
As well as asthma.
Oh,
Are-
right, it's frozen on yours, but yeah, is a chronic respiratory condition, but it's not on the official list of like um, uh, things that they're giving vaccines for.
Mm-mm.
So Toby has to wait a bit for now, and we'll see like what's the fastest way to get to that. So I'm glad to be partially vaccinated or on the way for that status, and then my parents also recently got their shot, so that's good too. So I'm thankful for that. At least it's moving.
Mhm.
I wish it were moving a lot faster. and then I don't know.
So it seems to be running fine in YouTube.
It's the Facebook
But
one that went
Facebook's
weird for
having
you.
Borky.
Okay.
So, yeah.
But hey, let us know if you can still see us on Facebook, which is really just Mitch and Nikki. Let us know.
So recently there was also the Friends revival.
Reunion.
The Friends reunion show.
They are back from the dead.
I haven't seen it.
Go on. Admission.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, so apparently Toby has not seen a lot of Friends. Like,
I think at most I chanced upon some episodes because it was on TV while someone else was
yeah,
watching.
because okay, to be fair, Friends came out at like the early days of TV5 as a channel, and so a lot of us caught Friends in the broadcast experience,
Mhm.
which is if you wanted to watch every single episode in order, then you would probably have to at least record it to guarantee that you can see it,
Mhm.
which means knowing how to set up your VCR to record a TV episode and things like that. So, yeah, I mean, I think I saw a lot of Friends only because it was just one of those. I always felt like Friends was like the TV show equivalent of like Archie comics.
Mhm.
It's like everybody at some point has read or experienced it. Yeah. So then we watched the reunion, and Uh, yeah, then Toby's like, then I was telling Toby, oh, now I feel like we should really sit down and watch the whole thing. And then Toby's like, well, he hasn't really seen it. So now there's
Mhm.
an actual objective, and it is now our passive entertainment fare instead of um, real crime murder mysteries. So I guess that's better, right? So something light for these quarantine days, and we often actually end up
Hey,
falling back
Kenny.
on sitcoms and
Mhm.
lighter entertainment for like just so that's not such of a downer, you know.
Mhm.
Um, as
I mean,
much as I love my true crime stuff, it
mhm.
can be heavy.
Enjoying it so far. Um, I could imagine some people will find it problematic. Everyone will find something problematic with anything not
Yes.
made with recent sensibilities in mind. But that's the way the world
Yeah,
works.
even like early Will and Grace Emperor has a lot of like problematic storylines and
Mhm.
elements, but they are artifacts of their time.
Mhm.
And if you think about Friends, oh my god, it's like early. It's not even cell phone. It's not even peak cell phone period. So cell phone's such a rarity. People are still
Mhm.
using corded landlines. It's fun. And that's maybe me labeling episodes, Mitch, because like she thought. So I've seen enough Friends, and I know that the episode titles are all like that. So Toby has not. So it's just funny. It's just a funny little thing.
Mhm.
This week we got our passports done.
Yes.
So we finally got our passports renewed. They expired last October. Although admittedly, it was super stressful.
Mhm.
We rarely leave BGC. And then we had to go to had to go all the way to Mega Mall because that's where we signed up for passport renewal. We had to sign up for Mandavax because they have their
The one with
own.
the Baduy price.
They had to sign up for their own. They have their own contact tracing separate from the gig and
Yes.
still not compatible with the national Stay Safe system. Um, and then little things like Toby was like, this is the first time Toby drove on EDSA since they switched the bus lanes around.
Mhm.
And so it was so weird. And Toby is normally a left lane hugger. Like
Mhm.
you'll always go to the leftmost lane to avoid the buses that are on the rightmost
Yes.
lane. And now it's like, oh, the whole world is upside down.
And
Lyric,
then
okay.
you couple that with the paranoia of, they might be strict about this and that, so I don't want to be on this side of the road. And it's hard because they might complain ignorance is not an excuse and ticket you. So stress, 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 stress.
Super weird.
Nick,
And then at least we got to. I mean, we got there on time, which is early,
mhm.
and then we queued very long, and then the queue in itself was stressful.
Yeah, we lined up 4 times. So
Yeah,
there was a line outside
that was still in the
before
mall.
before
Yeah,
the place opened. And then once they opened, they had us all line up around hugging the building.
the DFA
The
office. Yeah,
hugging the floor. So that wasn't so bad, but it was weird only because by the time we were allowed in, we were asked to fill up forms in advance, and they collected the stuff, then gave it back to us. So I guess
they did verification. I
yeah,
guess
I
at that
guess they
point.
did that.
Yeah.
Then there's the temperature check and stuff. And then you finally go in after you scan the QR code, only to line up again
Musical chair style
because
because no government appointment is complete without musical chairs lining up.
Hmm. And then as we're seated there waiting, I was thinking it would like then move and someone comes in and move. But no, it's once we're all there, we then all move to the next spot.
Because okay, to be
Because
fair,
by then we have numbers.
we all had given him numbers when we entered
Mhm.
after the temperature check, and then apparently that's our cue. And they just had us waiting there because they still had to return our passports and other documents,
Yes.
which we had surrendered to the outside guard who brought it in,
And
and
I
then someone
presume it's
checked.
because the people in the inner room they were waiting for them to empty out.
Yeah, I think
So
also they were trying to space the
yeah,
people
so
out. To
rather
be fair,
than like flow, let's say there's a maximum of 30, one leaves, one goes in.
no,
It was
they
a 30,
Wah!
finish the 30, so the next 30 goes in. So that was kind of weird. But I guess that's their system, so I won't.
At least there was a system. I mean,
Yeah.
admittedly, I was less stressed once we got outside the immediate DFA office because when we were in the mall, then I kept feeling like the person behind me in classic like lining up fashion. Like every time there was slight movement, when you look around, it's like, okay, that person is a lot closer to me than they should be, and do you really want to get into that argument of, hey, you're supposed to be like 6 feet away when everybody else behind them has already clustered together? So I can't exactly tell the whole line to like, move away, you're stressing me out.
Yeah, my stress was the people in front of me. So it was supposed to be one long line, but of course, because it's the
It's the
hallway,
mall, yeah.
they stopped the line at some point, then they continued the line after this pillar.
Yeah,
And the people in front of me who were at that pillar were not paying attention to the last part of the line. So a lot of people would show up, see the line there, and then they'd line up there.
yeah. I saw like, hey, there are people who got cut in, and then the guard is like not motivated to really watch because it's an SM guard and not a DFA guard.
So it was very annoying. And I know at one point there were like two people that did slip in, and I was like,
yeah, because I know we were marking red shirt guy as like he's the person you're behind.
Yes.
But then suddenly, there's
there
more
were two
people
in between. So
yeah.
bleh. But it could have been worse.
Yeah, I mean, at least once we got in, it was pretty efficient, so that wasn't so bad. It was a little stressful taking off my mask for the photo.
I was a bit frustrated that that area
Was super open. Oh, it's like it was a regular waiting area.
did not offer any disinfectant.
Oh, that's true.
So-
Although we had our own.
So when we sat there and it was the signature, fingerprints, picture, and then signature. None of that.
Yeah, nobody's like
Yes,
wiping the
disinfectant.
equipment. Yeah,
So
yeah.
I was literally signature, pull out alcohol, wash my hands, and then hands naman. Oh, okay, fingerprint, alcohol, wash my hands. Okay, picture, and then I was putting everything back. Now, isa pa signature. Okay, and then that last signature, I was so flustered. I think I tried 8 times.
But
I was just so
funnily,
stressed out.
the last signature was not something that would be printed. It is acknowledging that everything is correct.
I know, but it was just ah.
My signature looks very wrong. When I look like meh, it's like my signature is always bad. So
Mick mentions red shirt guy is expendable.
well, red shirt guy got in first, so before us. And then it became the next question of, are we actually going to have lunch? And like, oh my god,
so that was a nice moment though.
yeah, I mean, at first it was like, oh my god, are we gonna find outdoor dining at Mega Mall? Because it was 2 o'clock, fasting window had ended, but then where we're gonna eat? And then the one place we used to eat there, which was a poke bowl place, is gone. But I also wouldn't have been comfy because it was super indoors. So
So we were walking around looking for a place to eat, and we chance upon these, on lack of a better word, greenhouses.
yeah, they look like
So
greenhouses.
you have this area at the center of the escalator area. There's a makeshift orchard that has been set up because you can buy plants with free oxygen, as they call it. And then there's these
That's not
plastic
how it
houses that are there.
Yeah, whatever, fiberglass,
They're not
plexiglass, what you
completely
want to call it.
sealed,
Yeah.
but they're nicely isolated from each one. And when I was looking at it, I realized I saw some menus, and I was like, baka pwede kumain dito. So we asked the girl, and
Well,
the girl
to be fair,
was-
we finally found the sign. There was
Yeah.
a QR code to scan the restaurants that are participating.
Mhm.
As we were scanning it, helpful attendant comes closer, explains what it is, and like, okay, so we can order from the nearby restaurants, but then we eat at that isolated,
Mm-mm.
little, whatever
So it's a little
glass
bit,
house
it's a
thing.
little bit stress calling service, but it's also nice that you feel you're not in a cramped area with aircon circulation. Despite if in the main mall it is still,
It's still air conditioned,
but at least it's the entire mall and not like a small restaurant wherein you feel
yeah,
it's like
and
super
it's
close.
it's like on the ground floor of like one of those areas that it's open all the
Yeah.
way to the top, so it's like super ventilated.
It helps that you're surrounded by actual living plants.
That is true too.
So you
And you
feel
wonder, can they fight COVID?
you feel they're filtering to some extent. We went there. There were 4 houses. No one was going there.
Okay,
So we decided to eat, and I was jokingly telling Rocky, imagine if by the time we leave, the whole place is filled up.
the whole place is filled up by the time of that. There's context for this, okay, and I know this is like this quarantine check-in is like super random storytelling, but that's fine. For context, it's always been a running gag that we feel like we show up at restaurants
Mhm.
that are empty,
Mhm.
and because we gave it a chance, then other people show up, and then by the time we leave, it tends to be
Hey,
full.
Jed.
Hello, Jed. So, and that's it's like one of those things that we always feel like it's just a bit of a weird coincidence
Mhm.
that has been happening over the last 12 years now
Yes.
that we've been together. And that's why Toby made the joke, and then like, okay, let's see. But then it happened. There were just so many people.
Mhm.
So by the time we left, it's like yoinks, bye.
There's so many people. Let's go. Let's go. But
I gu-
still separated houses.
Yeah, super separated.
So nice, very nice.
I guess the main quirk, which I mean they're generally prepared for, is like, um, it's like when they first give out, like when they first set up plates to to get our orders, they already leave a pitcher of water.
Mhm.
Like they know, like we're not coming back to help you. Here's your pitcher of water. And then the next time we had contact with someone was when they actually brought the food, and then we had to call the waitress to pay the bill. So
Yeah.
it was funny that I thought they would probably collect sooner. But then Toby's like, well, so para it still feels like fancy fine dining. Then they didn't want to bother you with the money
Yeah.
up front.
And I think there is also the they have less manpower,
Yes.
so they couldn't just have someone stationed keeping watch.
That is like that was I was thinking about that too, because like they were saying, like, for example, we ordered from Mesa because Filipino food easier. There's always something keto. Then they were saying there's only one waitress on duty. On first, like, oh, that's kind of sad. And then like, oh, but technically, I guess that's what happened. Like a lot of restaurants probably have scaled back their
Mhm.
in-house staff.
Because given how much rent is, you
Yeah.
want to try to bring down your other costs.
So you'll reduce yours, and that's kind of depressing. But
Mhm.
at least we helped out for that day.
Yeah.
Uh,
When we were ordering. So we'll get this. Mga pang ilan yan? Sir, pang apat. Okay, that's
okay,
fine
I
for
think
us.
that's okay. Because once we place our entire order, right, then it always the question of which every waiter or waitress will always ask is, sir, walang rice? And like,
Hmm.
no. So just give us this. And to be fair, Toby was like trying to be nice at first, like we can take out food, right? Like if we can't finish, we can take out. I'm like, yeah, we can take out. Okay. And then
We're not gonna take
yeah,
it.
as
We're
soon
gonna
as the
finish it.
waitress was gone, it's like we're not gonna take out. We're
We're
gonna
gonna
finish
finish
this. We're gonna finish it.
Yeah.
So yeah, so
Kenny says we're trendsetters. Either that or
Hmm.
it's the herd mentality of may kumakain, masarap siguro doon, so let's do it. You know,
but
that's
it's
sort
not.
of
But even like if you were to apply that logic, I mean, like if you full on Singaporean that logic, like that's the
yes.
hawker logic of Singapore.
Mhm.
Like the best places to eat
Are
have
the
the
ones with the
longest
line.
lines. But then two people do not represent a super long line, and
Yeah, but-
normally we're like the only one in the
But I
restaurant.
guess we look happy.
Well, we're
So
generally
people
happy.
then get inget of our happiness.
Maybe.
Unlike that other group in the other house, which nakiplug pa to charge their phones.
So,
Ma,
Toby-
bring your power
Toby
banks.
was
Oh my
super,
God. And then, magkatabi lang sila, this what? But when they're talking, Hay nako, grabe yung...
Meanwhile, the two of us are reading on our respective devices, occasionally talking about the food, but then from afar, I don't know if we look happy because we look like we're in an argument.
No, I think we look happy. Because I think even if we're not explosively talking to each other,
Ooh,
people
Mitch has
can
a good point. I now think two people is a long line because of quarantine.
Yes,
That's fair.
that's true.
So DFA was super stressful because there was like at least 20, 30 people in line
Yes.
with us, and it's like I don't want to deal with all
But
of
I
you.
commend with how they tried to keep the line moving.
Yeah,
I mean, it was weird, those little sets, but I liked how, like in the system now, it was weird because we had to get two numbers. We had our initial number.
oh yeah.
Once we're inside for the third line, ding, your number shows up. You go to the counter.
You give your
You
documents.
give the number. You give your documents. They stamp something. Then they give you a new number.
and then they send you back.
So we think that the third line was for the number, because the fourth line officially is encoding.
Yes. But I think the step that they kind of optimized was the checking of documents. I think that's what that.
Yeah,
but the first number is supposed to be where we present our documents. They check before they pass you to
Yes,
encoding.
because from outside, when we go in,
They had already taken our documents.
that would have been the first time to get the documents.
Yeah.
And that would have been your first number.
But instead, they get it. There's a guard outside with a very complex system of cardboard box. So he doesn't touch any of your documents.
Mhm.
He like offers the box. You put your documents in, folded into your passport,
Mhm.
and then you just trust that it will come back to you.
I had trust issues.
And then
always.
there's this one guy in a chair who gets the box and then just kind of rifles through all of it. So
Just to double check if you have all the documents
yeah,
before you go in.
before you go in, although you have your number. So I kind of get it. I kind of get it. It was a weird way to optimize, but it works because we were always like generally apart. They mark seats and stuff, and outside at least there were stickers on the floor that kind of indicated the social distancing line, although it wasn't enough distance.
There was that point wherein yeah, the lines, but the people in front of me kept moving.
They kept clustering.
So I was like, it's too huge. I moved. And then they started noticing the lines and backing up. So it reached a point when they reached me. I looked back, but Rocky was already properly in the slot. I couldn't move.
Yeah.
So I looked at them and went, I. And they were staring at the floor. And I'm like, people are starting to have all sorts of health problems in prolonged quarantine.
I think that's true on multiple levels, whether it's just, general physical health or mental health or
Yeah.
I mean like it's to borrow all the overused terms, right? It's unprecedented times. It's
Mhm.
a situation we've never been in. And I don't think any of us are fully prepared for the long-term effects of this kind of social isolation for people.
And that could be because for some people, they're still trying to do what they normally do. For other people, they've completely stopped doing what they normally do. So, for example, some of the problems that start to show is back problems, sitting too long, UTI, or ulcers because they haven't been eating at the right time and stuff like that.
Mm-mm.
And then on the flip side, you have exposure and stuff because people are still acting like they're doing what they normally do. So they're still going out and drinking with friends and going to public places and not, taking the precautions needed because they think
And
it
it's
won't hit them.
challenging.
Yeah.
Like I have an online friend who's like, for him it was like he still goes out because the alternative is that his mental health was really taking a beating just at home. Then he's like, he'll just gamble. He'll just wear a mask and gamble it because, but he feels like he really needs to get out.
Which I think is fine.
It's a
because,
decision everybody has to make for themselves.
I think people just have to keep in mind is whatever you do, just still stay safe. Because
Yeah.
it's not just your own safety, it's the safety of the people around you, it's the safety of the people who live with you or who interact with you. Maybe you don't care and you don't want to, make sure you're washing your hands and all this and that. But that person in the restaurant who you paid money to is now in risk because of what you're doing. And it's that sort of chain of effect that you have to be aware of. People have to stop thinking it's just about them.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's really the kind of best way to maybe better ensure that we all get through this together and not
And
too
vote
isolated.
in the coming elections.
Yes. Yes. That is a big yes. Okay. Other weird thing this week is that because a friend of ours reported to work
Mhm.
at his office in BGC, as a rarity. They're still not required to report 100% of the time.
Yeah.
But like for sanity, he felt like checking in. He also had some office paperwork to do. And then he was like asking, you want to say hi? And of course, us is like, sure, why not? We haven't really seen anyone. We figured it could be an isolated enough
Mhm.
moment.
We were thinking of precautions like, it's to
We
wear masks.
Yes, keep our
and all
masks
this and
on
that.
and stuff like that. And then it's just saying hi. But it's only then that we confirmed when he was downstairs that our building never lifted the rule of preventing guests of banning guests. So that happened when we went back to ECQ in March, and then and I never thought about it, but admittedly I had never seen a memo that corrected it. But I think it's like just kind of just assumed that we've kind of gone back to like previous states of more relaxed quarantine with additional restrictions. Um, so it would have been a no biggie. And plus, we had seen people viewing units, which is, obviously they're non-residents in the building.
But they were still at it.
And they were still let in. So yeah, it was surprising. It's slightly embarrassing because it was like, oh, he's here now, and then he can't come up, and like, oh crap, and we made him go over here. So that became an emergency. Like, all right, then we'll just try to have coffee next door at the coffee project, which was stressful in itself. And I didn't order. Toby ordered stuff so that at least one of us would order, but then I didn't want to order anything because I didn't want to take off my mask.
Yeah.
And yeah, then it became that. But it was like, oh my god, not that we're not having a lot of guests because we didn't know, and we hadn't had anyone over since before ECQ. But yeah, it's like just that's kind of annoying, and like we're still not we still don't even have the option. So it's a pain. It's a pain. What else this week? I got a foot spa. I had an extra holiday because it was a Singapore holiday on Wednesday, so I didn't have work on Wednesday. And I scheduled a foot spa for myself, which is my first since also ECQ. I had one before ECQ, and then that was it. But same thing, like I'm always stressed about it, so I keep my gear on. And then it's awkward because they always offer like water and coffee, and then like, oh, I want the coffee, but then how do I do this that I feel safe? And so I would time my drinks for like when they would leave me alone because they're like soaking my feet or something. And then I'd be like drinking and then mask on immediately after. Um, I appreciate this one place. I don't necessarily think the skills are the best because like my second trip wasn't as good, but the first and the most recent, the third, were okay. Um, but I feel like because of capacity concerns, they're only allowed to have one customer at a time. So when I book an appointment, I'm the only person there, except for the two attendants. And then like I can live with this risk, I guess. So I keep my gear on, but I can live with the risk. I get a little pampering, and I read at least a book. So yeah, that was like my. I'm happy the option is there. I don't know how long that spa is going to last because that's tough. That's tough to maintain operations, but then
Yeah.
at that limited a capacity, I don't know how people are doing it. So how about all of you? There are nine. Oh, here. Well, technically seven people on the stream across Facebook and YouTube. We can't see if you're there, but if you're there, let us know. Leave a comment. How's your week been going? And like, what are I don't know what's been going well in your recent quarantine period? What are your challenges? I mean, it's a safe space to talk about stuff. Um, yeah, Mitch is like, it's okay that the only customer. Yeah, yeah. So I try to schedule early, um, and then rush out because a foot spa and a pedicure last up to 2 hours. But then recently they've been like rushing through. It only lasts like 90 minutes, I think, because it's like soak your feet and then the scrubbing and then they wrap it in the whatever mentholated something something. And then the first time I went, they wrapped my legs and then left me alone, and then came back, rinsed, and then cut my nails. Now, wow, second one. Are we back? Are we back? Are we back? Back, back. Are we back? Okay, I think we're okay now.
Yep.
Okay. So sorry. Wow, second internet hiccup
What
in
if
the
it's
same
the camera?
episode. I don't think it's the camera. It's network because Restream says it's network.
Okay.
Anyway, um, now they wrap my feet but leave my toes exposed. And so while in the quote unquote like letting your feet absorb whatever concoction they put on my
They can
feet,
trim your nails.
they're trimming my nails at the same time. It's just weird. Oh, Jed got a haircut. Oh, why did you have to, oh, that's weird. You have to take off your mask for a haircut?
Probably because of the.
I guess for for this
Yeah.
area, but okay, that's a bit stressful.
Do you like cover your face instead
Are you a weeping angel?
for the rest of the haircut? Nick shares totally unmotivated. Yeah.
Motivation's hard.
Yes.
And
That's
that
hard.
I don't know. I've been recently blogging about my frustrations, and it's the weekend, and there are so many things I want to do, recreational, but like still like so many things I want to do, and then I don't do half of them.
Mhm.
And like the heat doesn't help. Obviously, it's
Yeah.
super hot, and then it's like you're just melting in bed, and you don't want to get out. It could probably be cooler to get out, but then we don't get out, and then it's like I don't want to move. But then I still want to work out, and I still want to do stuff. Yeah, so yeah, it's a struggle. Mitch has a weird moment. Use conditioner as a hand wash, then a body wash as a shampoo. I think that's not so bad. It's still workable.
Yeah, I think they all still are interchangeable, and it's just marketing
Yeah,
dictating one is for
ultimately
the other.
they're gonna help your body, I guess. But okay, that's funny. But yeah, oh yeah, Nikki, I see you've been going. You retrieved some files from the archives.
Mhm.
Although also computers struggling to read said files. Yeah, I worry about like a lot of the stuff we've burned. Like when you actually retrieve stuff on your backup DVDs, then like, oh, it's really not a viable long term storage media. Um, cloud solutions kind of work better, or I don't know. So it's tough. It's tough. I have a bunch of like full resolution photos that are backed up that way, and like I've uploaded them mostly at high quality on Google Photos, so they're at least they're all there. But
Mhm.
I don't know. I still worry about I'm gonna lose all the originals. Not that I'm gonna super use them, but yeah, that's a thing. What else, guys? What else have you been doing this weekend? Man. Um, today is Turing's birthday. If you're familiar with
Mhm.
Turing, she's an Odiva,
Yes.
drag queen. And then, so she had her birthday show
Last night.
last night.
It's
And
a salubong show.
yeah, but oh my god, they had like a bit of a production. They
Lots of costume changes.
lots of costume changes, cute
Lots of
little
outfits.
stage, and then they had like Turing in big letters and 3D letters that they had attached to a curtain.
Mhm.
So it was at the back of the stage, and it was cute. It was a cute little thing, and then we left it playing on the TV like most of the night. They wrapped up like 2 or 3 in the morning,
Yeah.
and then um
With one at one point the show getting cut off because the battery died.
the battery of her phone died. Things that only happen because of live. Yes. Like as Jed stressing, tomorrow is the last day to back up all your photos at high quality for free, and then anything you upload June 1 onwards, even at high quality, will
Yes.
count towards your storage limit.
Mm.
So I've always been a high quality person, and then you can also compress existing photos into high quality. It's useful if it's just stuff you take on your phone, and then you're not gonna print them as billboards and you know
You're not gonna print
posters.
them.
You're not gonna print them. Yeah. I mean, even if you printed them as like in a photo book of some sort, at 1040 at 2048 pixels on the longest side, that's not bad. That's
Mm.
like decent enough to print in a book
Mhm.
at most 3R size. So, 3R. Photography terms. But yeah, it's ups and downs this week. I will admit uh I've been having a lot of random super downer moments, and then
Mm.
I'm really like I miss people. I super miss people.
Mhm.
And as much as like we're gaming online all the time, like we have generally have our vampire games on Wednesdays, and recently we had a few Friday night games with a
Mhm.
friend, and then most Saturdays and Sundays we tend to have a game online.
Mhm.
and then all that helps. But it's never quite the same,
Mhm.
and um, then sometimes I don't feel motivated fully to like join the online game right away.
Mhm.
Uh, it takes me a while to warm up, and then but when I'm in there, like no, it's okay, it's okay, it's still a game, it's still something to enjoy, it's still interaction, so make the most of it, and then
Mhm.
I'm fine. But I still have I feel that like that
Yeah.
that challenge of getting started, especially for role playing,
Mhm.
because role playing is still a lot of like investing in yourself. But then we're in a situation where we don't even see half the time we don't see anyone because for preserving internet bandwidth, people aren't turning on their cameras.
Yeah.
So it's just voices and like okay.
Yeah. Kenny shares
Hmm.
had a rough week. So the stress, I caught on a few cartoon series: Castlevania, Owl House, Adventure Time, Distant Lands. Now looking for a new cartoon series to start on. Owl House, we haven't started, but we heard it's pretty good. It's
Mm-mm.
supposedly has Gravity Falls feels. Um, if you haven't seen Gravity Falls, then you should see Gravity Falls. Then there's Over the Garden Wall. If you haven't seen that, make sure you see that.
I haven't rushed to see the latest Castlevania.
Hmm.
It's like
We're not
I'm
impressed.
not. Yeah, nah. The animation style is always a little wooden. At least they're better in Castlevania than they were in that Son of Zeus. Oh, the Son of Zeus was
Hmm.
like it's like what are these people? Why have they don't really feel emotions?
Why does everything you hit sound like you're hitting metal?
Yes, yes. He falls against. He like slammed against a pillar, which is a
A
stone,
marble pillar.
a marble or
Ping!
stone pillar, and, and he's wearing leather. Leather armor. He's not wearing metallic armor.
I
Anyway.
know a lot of friends are really going gaga over Invincible. Um, it's okay. I'm not that invested. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like I read the comics, and then I liked the comics a bit more than the show. I
Mhm.
think, but then the show does. I mean, I appreciate that. Ooh, then they really try to translate the hyperviolence
Mhm.
into a cartoon. I don't know if it's really a cartoon I need. Uh, yeah. Oh. Uh, my one frustration and rain of sunshine this week was bum ba bum. I have another nephew.
Mm.
So my second nephew was born on Thursday. Yay! Um, the family has been starved for updates. We're
Yes,
always
of course.
demanding updates from my sister to like share share videos in the
Mhm.
family chat. We're always asking how the baby is. And now we're also like comparing like how his older brother is reacting to the fact that there's a baby.
Mhm.
And the initial interaction between the two is that the older brother is using the baby to identify body parts. That's why he's pointing. It's like nose, eyes, and then uh, apparently because I showed you the video right. Then the baby's like in a onesie. Of course, you're gonna keep a baby warm because they can't regulate their temperature on their own initially.
Mhm.
So it's like in a super weird onesie blanket thing. And then the older brother was like grabbing his arm and like feeling the thing. Apparently, he was confused why he didn't have hands because it was like in the onesie. And so they had to show that the baby had hands. And oh, so yeah. So I'm super happy,
Mhm.
but also sad that I
Visit yet?
can't visit the baby yet.
Yes.
Um, because a baby week for both of us, Nick. So siya naman Monday. Okay. So yeah, so that was Thursday, and then like I've been vicariously enjoying updates as they come.
Mhm.
So that's our family obsession.
That's good.
Yeah, it's something. It's
Mhm.
something. And then I hope to see them again soon. I don't know how, but for step one, get vaccinated fully. So
Yes.
my next shot is like third week June, which means by July I'll be fully vaccinated in theory, and then we'll see how that goes.
Mhm.
Okay. Kenny really stressing. Invest in Owl House. Slow start. Things get great in the near end of season one. That's rough, man. That's like that's a that's asking me really to gamble. Even in Fringe, we got invested by episode 4. So I don't know. I don't always have a lot of patience for cartoons now. I don't know. I mean, there's like a lot of good stuff, but then like it's like I still want to watch all these other science fiction, fantasy, drama pieces. Then so yeah, always juggling, always juggling. But now we got to make Toby watch Friends. So we got 10 seasons of that before it disappears on Netflix or something. Although I think they're going to keep it because it's a cash cow, and especially with the reunion, it's probably increased interest.
Yes, internet interest has grown again. Happy Tito Day too, according to Mitch. To you and
beyond that, though, work has been really stressful this week. I think. I know it's bad when one, Toby and I have so many meetings that are overlapping. So we're like, one has to be in the bedroom, and the other one outside, so that we don't.
And then neither of us has time to really prepare food.
Yeah.
So we end up having lunch, which is our first meal for the day at 6 p.m.
And then we ordered out, but it's either we ordered out, which is always, I always feel bad when we order out because then like saying the food in the fridge, or it's leftovers, which is not as bad, but then like it's still like we didn't do anything fun. It was just we're barely keeping pace with everything. But yeah, we've had a lot of late lunches this past week. But ang earliest is like we're eating at 4.
Yeah.
That's not ideal. And it's worse pa because like we're eating at 4 on a meeting. Like we're still juggling stuff, and that's how that's going. What else, Toby? What are you bringing up?
I'm just double checking.
Yeah, right. So our intermittent fasting is now being like much longer than normal.
Yeah, I've stopped using the app to keep track. I'm just too stressed out to care about the app.
That's okay. It's just a timer, really. There's not much that we're doing with it other than that. So.
And then what else? Went for a monthly payment for View.
Oh, for your mom.
Yeah, because normally with Mitch's help and recommendation, we used to get those prepaid things for the full year, which is I think slightly cheaper. But I'm realizing every year we have that panic moment of it's not working again. Then I realize why. So I just want to get rid of that, and I'll just pay monthly.
Which includes the fun process of walking Toby's mom through how to log back into View on her TV. So it's like, ooh, okay. So yeah, the monthly does make more sense, if only for peace of mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we're still gonna get my mom a laptop. We haven't gotten around to doing that.
Oh yeah. We have to look up options for her and settle that. Okay. Okay. Mitch, thank you on behalf of you peeps.
And then what else? Writing's been slow, very slow. There's that guilt of buying board games but knowing you can't play them anytime soon.
Oh man, yeah. Last night I was like, "Ooh, let's take a look at what's this?
Isle of Cats.
No, that's not Isle of Cats. The something of a festival of 1,000 cats. It's like, oh, it's super cute. It's super cute. Toby, this game is 3 to 4 players, minimum 3, not 2, 3. We can't play the game. Like, wow. So we ended up playing an unlock last night because like and then I feel guilty. Like I want to play board games, but then sometimes you're just in this weird vegetative I don't want to move state. So it's like, okay, we'll do an unlock, and it was okay. It wasn't the greatest thing in the world, but it was fun to. It's always fun to get through the puzzles.
Yeah, Nick recommends Acer. I don't know. My last laptop was Acer, and I got really stressed out.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm trying not to rub my eyes, but it's a thing. Okay. And then Nikki's like, oh yeah, Acer. Oh, actually, about your iPad. Yeah, we haven't figured out diagnosing like when to get Toby a new iPad. I want to get a coffee machine, but then I blogged about it. But I'm just guilty about getting it because it's very expensive, and it's really more ideal when we have guests because it's easier to serve fresh everybody has freshly brewed coffee, a freshly brewed cup, and it's not a pod thing, but it's very expensive. And then this machine works okay, so not doing it yet. And then I've forbidden Toby from buying it for me because he may do that.
So that just means it should not be using my money.
No, don't do that. You have mafia money floating everywhere, which I don't. Sometimes it's not quite yours. You and your mom, yeah, your whole family. It's this whole like let's throw cash.
No, we're not throwing cash. It's calculated expenses.
Oh, Jed says he might sell his MacBook Pro because he's been sitting idle since last year.
Ooh.
Oh, but then I don't know if you. I don't want to put your mom on a Mac.
Yeah, sadly.
Toby already got a new computer. Sayang.
She'll be stressed out with the map.
Yeah, it'll be a challenge. So, but if you need help like shopping it around, we can help
We can ask
reshare. Yeah, yeah.
Because sila might be interested. I don't know if it's within their price range.
But
But they were looking for a new computer as well.
yeah, but then
So-
I don't know about a Mac.
Yeah.
Mac. I always for a Mac, I always feel like we should talk to design friends.
Yeah,
you know?
design or music or video editing. Like Nick, Mafia Money, Envelope Scavenger Hunt.
Nick is fully iOS now. Did you see that?
I know.
Yeah,
Mitch, they're not all in envelopes. They won't fit in envelopes.
yeah. Wow. I'm so glad that he moved some of it to the bank recently.
Hey!
Because his mom, like gave some to help with the laptop, and then of course Toby had to supplement the rest. But then it was cash, and he need to move it to the bank to like settle his credit card bill properly. Uh, it was a lot of money that he moved, and like what the hell? when he told me after, I deposited them. Like, what the hell, man? Which still means there's still mafia money around.
It's not that big.
It's not that big, but it is sizable. It's like it's a lot of currency.
Well, again, that was also partly because I was afraid that the banking system will collapse with the pandemic.
Okay, yeah, because
So-
I'm the reverse. Like my funds are super digital,
Mhm.
and then like was this my wallet only has maybe $1,000.
Because I also did withdraw, remember, when the start of the
Yeah, at the
pandemic
start of the
was about to
pandemic, she's
happen.
like, we have to be
I-
ready for the
And,
worst.
if the banks shut down, at least we have the cash ready at hand for whatever emergencies. You go to the hospital, help him! Because,
Wasn't it like the movie of the ending of Army of the Dead? Where
Yeah.
it's like
I want
let
to
money
blame.
talk. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but, it's that sort of thing that you...
Ah,
I worry
yeah,
about.
Nikki. Okay, there's like the challenge of a lot of the stuff he uses, including games, are Windows. That's always a problem. That's also why I've stuck on Windows for the longest time because I'm still like a very big PC gamer. And then we've run into that problem during our online game nights. Like we try gifting people things and like, oh, there's no iOS version.
Yeah.
Oh no. I know. But yeah, you go where it works.
Mhm.
What else, guys? We're all just chatting, and yeah, I know Jed said like unless O opens, then his MacBook
Yeah, 'cause
will be
that's where you
useful.
use it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Jed, we still have the containers for you.
Oh my god. Yeah,
We can
we just keep collecting.
we can ship it to you if you prefer
We could
that.
just make a very weird shipment.
Yeah, because it's all containers. But if you need more containers for the cats, we have a batch ready for you.
Yeah, the bag. I'm officially gonna have to start a new bag. It's like it's too full. Age too full.
Mhm. And sadly, if you do swing by to pick it up, you might not be able to head up and say hi.
Yeah. Well, I will gladly
We'll
go
go-
down
we'll
to
go
wave at
downstairs.
you at the street. It's all we can do. Okay. But yeah, I think that's my mission this month. Is like, talk to the building and like I understand. I respect our need for precautions, but are we seriously not doing zero guests still? Um,
Right.
Oh
sending
wow.
containers. My brother does that, so my mom would cook and fill it up again.
We have this problem with Toby's family because like okay, every now and then when the mafia deliveries come, and then I'll be like, like Toby's like, did you prepare anything? And like, yeah, I have some containers because we're regularly resupplying Toby's mom with containers because she keeps sending food to different people,
So
not just
so
us.
so we'll receive Tupperware, well, plastic containers with whatever food, steak, spaghetti, etc. And then when we're done, we'll send it back.
With extra,
But
like we'll gather our
But normally the
excess.
plan is when the driver passes by, then we can give it to send it back. But the driver will pass by with new stuff, so we just trade.
Or I love the one where Mother's Day, we got to visit for Mother's Day, but then it was super like we brought containers and then they put food in it and then it came back with us. And like, okay,
Because there was food to bring home from Mother's Day.
it's always food. Okay,
And it's not mafia. Why are we mafia?
hey, I've had this discussion with your mother. Money in envelopes, gifts of steak. Because it's like it's the easiest thing for her to think of. She knows that I can eat steak, and therefore she groceries for extra
But
steak.
why does it have to be mafia? Why can't it be like, House of Cards or something?
Oh, you think that's better? You think that's better? At least organized crime is just a business. House of Cards was like murder street for the sake of power. You're better off with the mafia.
Okay.
Okay, you get to pick your mafia movie. I don't think you're Sopranos.
No.
No, right? Then maybe kind of Goodfellas-y, or I don't think you're Godfather, depending on which one.
No.
All these things. Okay.
Colony family.
I think it's. Did you mean Corleone?
I deleted the Grab app this week and started cooking again this week. My credit card bill came back. Yes. It's very easy.
It creeps
to
up
slip.
on you. Yeah. So that's why I always feel like, as much as possible, I'll try to cook. And then, but normally our emergency situation is like, suddenly we both have too many meetings, we have no time, and therefore we'll just order. And then if I can really force it, then I'll cook. Then I'll try to do something quick. Which is normally something that checks my keto boxes but may not look pretty. It tends to be a cabbage stir
But
fry
they're still
mix.
good.
They're good. I mean, I honestly enjoy it. They're very comforting. Would I serve them to friends? Probably not. It's like I don't know. It's one of those things that if you see in the cafeteria, it won't have a name, and when you ask the lady what it is, she cannot give you a name. She will list the ingredients, and it's really like it's cabbage with
They'll call
mushroom,
it a ganyan
egg.
mix.
Yeah, it's
Cabbage mix or
Mhm.
vegetable mix. Or maybe they'll call it a medley.
See, I was right. I understood Mitch. She meant Corleone.
Mm.
I speak Mitch. Guys, I miss everyone. That's the real bummer, I think. And then I see a lot of friends talking about just missing hugging people,
Mm-mm.
and I totally get that. I totally get that. Like I had like I don't know. I have these weird moments. I will share this. I have these weird moments where like I just lie down on the floor.
Mhm.
I lie down on the floor, and I can be like reading on my phone, playing a game on my phone, but yun, I just lie down on the floor here, right here, and then I just don't want to get up. Then I did it last night. Toby joined me on the floor, which was nice
No,
and
you
comfy.
commanded me to join you.
No, I said, don't you want to?
You guilt tripped me to join you.
Like, Toby.
Nabla, you don't love me anymore. Aren't you gonna go down here?
He did naman.
Of course.
Although it was painful on your knees, I know.
Well, I'm not used to kneeling on a hard floor for long durations. A bed, pwede pa. But,
And I don't know. I can't explain why, but sometimes I just feel like I don't know. The floor is comforting for some reason.
Mitch shares, got the minifig of Looney Tunes, was was to do.
a live sana to open it, but then she
Mm.
just left it off. Yeah, I saw you did a story like zooming in on the different like blind bags.
Mm.
So we're excited to see. We're excited to see how it goes.
Nick says, "Ang kalat, ha 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 ha." Of course not. This is Baduy Pride. Those are different accounts.
That's it. We juggled with altery stuff for a while and then got lazy. It's like I don't want to juggle multiple accounts.
I mean, we
It's
have
Karen. Hey Karen.
Hey, Karen. Welcome to Baduy Pride.
Yeah,
Yes, this is
I'm the face of Sogoma.
this is our
Nightville election shirts.
subconscious way of reminding people to vote in the coming elections.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes. It's not that subconscious. It's the second time we've told people to vote, so we're very transparent. What else?
Shows. There were any new shows that we started watching.
Oh well, we blitzed through Shadow and Bone.
Shadow and Bone was not so bad,
I think
Um,
everybody just agrees we all like Jasper.
and I think we like that more than Irregulars.
Yeah, Irregulars was tough.
Irregulars was irregular.
Yeah, so if it really doesn't get renewed, I don't think anybody's gonna cry. But I still like Irregulars more than Invincible.
Yeah, and I think Invincible is still better than Jupiter's Legacy.
Oh my god.
Jupiter's Legacy is such a downer, given the comic is so good.
Kenny's like, do you like laying on banig and wooden furniture?
I prefer
No,
I prefer to
I
sleep.
don't like.
I prefer to sleep on banig.
I don't want to sleep on the hard floor, but then sometimes I just want to lie down.
I think I like flat, not necessarily hard floor. But remember the cushion I had before was like that when we used to visit the house. It was
Mm.
that hard flat cushion. It wasn't the soft.
Yeah,
spongy
yeah,
cushion.
yeah. We got the Uratex that was like very
Yeah,
dense.
And that was, I guess that helps me because I'm so long. So there's that.
Mitch-
you like stretch when you're on a.
Okay, Mitch
So-
says she didn't enjoy Army of the Dead. Yeah, I don't think that's a movie that's meant to be like super enjoyed.
Yeah,
It's
a lot-
super low
A
brow
lot
fare.
mention it follows the beats of Aliens, just does it wrong. And then there's all the out of focus styling effect, which is really to hide the fact that they had to replace one of the actors with what's her name?
Tig Notaro.
Yeah. Yeah. And then
That's all we have to say about the movie.
because it has its moments,
It's a yeah.
but the moments feel like you did it in this movie
Mm,
because this movie didn't really seem to touch on anything new.
yeah, there were like some interesting concepts, but like in isolation. Like I don't know if they really serve the story. Oh well, that's like quarantine fare for you. I mean, like
What were the good stuff we watched other than the passable Shadow and Bone?
man, because like even today I realized like oh we only watched the first two episodes of Drag Race UK and then
Not that interesting.
haven't bothered watching again. So we tried watching again today and like okay, but like I'm not rooting for anyone. And then
Yeah.
like I had to pick up a delivery in the middle and Toby's like you want to pause the show and like I don't no it's okay I don't care about the runway. It was the runway when I got back. What happened? Yeah. So I mean like we're gonna get around to watching the Oscar stuff soon because I saw that
Mhm.
it's like on Plex and then um I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know.
we haven't been watching anything last week.
We've been
We're
super busy.
super
We've been
busy
super
at work.
super busy.
No time to
Normally
watch.
we get to play more stuff. Now like there's nothing
Mhm.
going on. So that's a consideration. And then like by the end of the workday, I'm not in the mood to watch any heavy serious content.
Mm-mm.
So we're just watching lighter stuff. I think like we've been watching the Bad Batch on and off,
Mhm.
but then that also hasn't. Hi, we keep bugging out. We should probably wrap up because the stream is getting angry for running so long. That's our third hiccup today. Hiccup today, hiccup today. Way.
Yeah, we keep getting hiccups.
Um,
Down under's also meh. That's true.
yeah.
The purple screen of death.
Don't say that because we come back. At least there's that.
Has Jed seen our intro?
I don't know.
Jed has probably not seen our
Jed,
intro.
have you seen the intro video for Baduy
Well,
Prize?
just to make sure, we'll be right back after these 15 seconds.
Wait, I'm not ready.
Which will
Don't
start in 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7,
Wait, I didn't have to take
6,
the caption
5,
off.
4, 3, 2.
Oh yeah. Baduy Prize.
And we're back. Yes, I have. Oh my gosh.
He played it anyway.
Yeah, let's do it again. It's really catchy.
It's fun. It's fun. It's very on brand.
And supposedly Mitch and Nick are planning something like a
A version
surprise.
2.0.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
What else? We had haircuts.
That wasn't this week, but
Yeah.
yeah. Oh my! Oh! But I was checking my Google Photos for it. I don't know. We should probably have an event to celebrate. We've been cutting our own hair for a year.
I don't know though if it's something we'll do forever, or if we'll still
I
have
don't-
barber.
Well, for me, I don't mind because my hair is super simple.
Yeah.
You probably need a proper haircut because
Rocky doesn't like my hair. Doesn't like my curtain.
okay, it's like it's all fun and games until you're in bed and he leans over and tries to kiss you, and then there's his hair in my face. What
But
is
you
this?
know that's there so you can grab it.
Wow, that's kalat.
It's only kalat when it's wet.
Because is that a pun?
No. Okay. Anyway, no. I
Meanwhile-
think we'll still get haircuts out there because you will still want the foot spa while having the haircut.
No, but I'm now doing foot spas
Alone.
in isolation from the haircut. Yeah.
Oh,
And it's like a proper foot spa.
okay.
Unlike just we put your feet in the machine that kind of makes funny noises but
And then we'll
doesn't
come back.
move.
And then we'll attack it with a file.
That's the main reason why I do it, guys, because my workout calluses on my feet are productive.
So Jed says we need a kalat episode. Only if you're the guest, Jed.
For questions or suggestions for future episodes, fill up the Google form.
Should we add a new field to the Google form?
What?
Who do you think should be the guest for this episode?
Now that people already mentioned their requested guests, it's like Noel obviously has many requests to be a guest
Mhm.
by other people.
Yeah. Noel, you're quite in demand. If you ever watch this, or
Episode.
if you're watching it now,
Yeah.
or in the future, or in the past, because time is wibbly wobbly.
Yes.
What else? Try to think of what else is new. Games, not much. There's a lot of Kickstarters that are coming up, and it's so
Oh
tempting to support a
my
number of them.
God, my budget. I'm like my revolving account is low because I keep backing Kickstarters for different games, and then like I'm now trying to space it out. Like I'm waiting for June
Mhm.
because I'm going to back Isle of Cats, and then, like because it looks very cute. And this game has a solo mode.
And the prepackaged thing is nice.
Which one?
The way it's like packaged to you pull it out and you can play it.
Oh yes. There's a new game trace upgrade so that it's like that, and then a lot of the Kickstarters that I've designated to ship direct to the Philippines are starting to come in. And like the first one is the big box for terraforming. I'm very excited. I just paid for a box for a storage solution that will increase the amount of space our terraforming Mars collection currently takes, but it's okay. That's how these things work. What else? What else?
I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's like the extent of
Um,
this check-in
Online
discussion.
events, not much. Movies, lots to look
Oh,
forward
we should
to.
talk about the fact that you had a talk.
Oh yeah. Um, the school talk on game design, which was fun. It's always fun to be able to share knowledge, and it was funny because um, even my brother started sending in questions, and
Yeah, and he's in
um,
LA.
and I'm happy that the question they had me answer was about school education and technology,
Mm.
because I saw his other questions and they were like, what what is the future of AR in I'm like, oh my god, if I had those questions on live, I'd be like, I don't know. But yeah, that was fun. I'm a bit miffed though because they supposedly took recordings, which I think messed up because they had a problem with the tech
Yeah, yeah,
crew.
yeah.
But at the same time, there was supposed to be a digital certificate and screenshots. So I've been emailing, asking, and they haven't been replying. So I guess they're busy.
Uh,
But it does kind of have that. Now that it's done, you're not answering.
it's
So I'm just letting it slide.
okay. It's like a bunch of students also to some
But it
degree.
was a good talk. It was nice, and it's always nice to because there's always that feeling of when you talk about something, it's the same topic or it's like the same basic information. But for some people,
But yeah,
that's
it's
super
new.
new. So
Yeah.
you have to stop editing yourself sometimes.
Mm-mm.
Diba? You might be thinking na, here I go again, telling people that experience is important. But for some, oh nga, experience. You can't, you can't overlook the fact that there are people who will be touching on that information for the first time. So, yeah, that was fun. That was nice.
Yeah,
Um,
it's certainly a highlight,
mhm.
and I like it when you have these things. You get very nervous, but then you get very pumped after.
I'm always very nervous, but I like to pump. I mean, I get very pumped.
And that's our show.
I blame the shark. Okay. What else? Yeah, upcoming movies. So we have In the Heights to look forward to. That's coming out
Yes.
this year.
Loki show is gonna start soon.
Loki, I'm worried. I'm really worried. I'm hoping it's going to be good. But I can't help but feel like Loki's just trying to do what they did for Infinity Gauntlet,
Mm.
which is jump into all these alternate
Moments.
moments and then inject a Loki next to it. So I'm kind of worried. Um, um, what was that upcoming Lin Manuel animation? Luca,
The Pixar one.
yeah, where he's a merman.
I don't know. I feel like that's like way down the development pipeline. I mean, like they're already doing trailers, but it takes a while before these things come out.
And then we have West Side Story coming up, right?
Yeah.
Which is a Spielberg event.
Yes.
So there's the possibilities of it being really off the mark, but at the same time, there's also possibilities of this hitting very nice theatric approaches because of the familiarity with the medium.
Nick has not summarized In the Heights. Everybody's talking about Jamie, Dear Evan Hansen, Tick Tick Boom, West Side Story.
Okay, dear Evan Hansen, I am very bothered.
Why? Because Ben Platt's still playing a student.
Well, that's one, and I'm terrified at how they achieve that look. The face just really scares me. But then the it's such a weird topic because remember the premise being the premise, and I don't know if it's spoilery or not to say it,
Yeah, yeah.
but the premise being this premise, um,
Yeah, he's not a great character.
and there's not a lot of truth behind the awesomeness of the. Parang the best songs are not really the best moments,
Yeah.
and that really makes me feel conflicted. Because it's like if you were singing the song from Les Miserables, for example, and you feel it's a song about rebellion, but the meaning pala of the song is they betrayed the person. So parang, then you're singing the wrong thing. Parang ganon. And that's what I feel very conflicted about. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I get the songs are really good. really made well.
On their own, if you
But
just listen to the
but the
music, it's great.
context, it's I feel
Yeah,
icky
yeah,
about it. It bothers me.
yeah. I listened to the Audible adaptation of the play, so
Mhm.
it's really just the story.
Mhm.
It didn't make it better. It's just like it makes it really problematic in modern speak.
And if we, let's say, compare it to um what was the name of that one? I had it earlier. Now I lost it. Students stomping on tables, and what's his name shows his butt in the production. Mama who bore me.
Spring
There
Awakening.
you go. Thank you. Yeah. But I was right, right? All my contacts were correct. I just forgot the name.
Yes.
Thank you, Nick. But like that one, there are songs there which are very powerful as well.
Yeah.
But then the tone and the message matches the presence
That's true.
of the song. So that's my thing with um yeah. I feel very bothered by how good it is because I want to really enjoy it.
But it's okay because there's also the larger pitfall that every musical that makes the movie transition, where as well examined in a Lindsay Ellis video essay about cats, because movies are about whether we like it or not, movies tend to be about realism,
Yeah.
and then musicals are a lot about imagination and fantasy because the stage setup is limited and your brain has to fill in the gaps
Mhm.
to make it real. Whereas a movie can show you everything
Mhm.
or tries to show you everything and makes
Yeah.
it more real.
The thing which I'm surprised you didn't touch on that was it also has to do with the quote unquote uncanny valley syndrome.
Mm-mm-mm.
The more close to realism something looks, the more you demand it to be real.
Yes.
Which is why when you watch stick figures fighting
You're okay when they're doing crazy
and
stuff.
their head flies off and it's fine. But then when you have realistic people fighting and then one of them has a head fly off, there's that, hey, ang fake naman nun. And it's that weird ground of what you set as an expectation for the viewer.
Which is why the Cats movie was very disturbing.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
But I appreciate that, like looking at the trailers for In the Heights, for example, then they're really trying to push the fantasy. That it's going more surrealistic, I hope, but we'll see.
Yes.
We'll have to see when it's really depicted.
Mm-mm.
But that might help balance it out when it still feels like a musical,
Mm-mm.
a stage musical versus like Dear Evan Hansen's already look like it's going to be very realistic depiction with
Les
singing.
Miserables stuff.
Yes.
Um,
But never as bad as Cats.
what's this?
Because even if you go back, even to
Sweeney
the
Todd.
Sweeney Todd,
Sweeney Todd for me worked because it felt
because the premise in itself is just very
and
outlandish,
the way
bizarre.
they did the visuals, as realistic as it looked, felt very theatric.
Yes.
So like the scenes still felt like it was larger than life, even if it's a barber and a meat shop.
But yeah, and because they had this whole complicated, like the chair, the shoot, the bodies, the
and even the way they shot it when they show the scenes compared to, let's say, the Phantom of the Opera movie that had Jared Butler. It had larger than life sets,
yes,
but it was shot to look real,
yes,
and that just wah wah.
But then a lot of people like individual songs,
Yeah.
and that's how it goes. Yeah, so we'll see. Because and even if you think about the original West Side Story, to be fair, because it was filmed kind of largely live on a sound studio type situation, then it still feels more like a play because you had all the organized dancing and things like that. So I don't know how they're gonna do it in this new adaptation. We shall see.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, these quarantine check-ins, you never know where we're gonna end up talking about stuff. But it's just chill out talk, guys. That's why we do these things on Sundays so that we're not overly pressured.
Yeah, and we can't do a Kalat episode. That's not something we can have on YouTube.
Non-monetized.
And sorry, we won't do spaces.
Wow, you're already declaring it. But
Do you
realistically,
want to do spaces?
no, I don't.
I don't want to do spaces.
I mean, I think we're better off doing a podcast than to do spaces. Like if we wanted to really do something like that.
I mean, I think the simplest is I don't want to do Twitter.
Ba-bam!
We're fine with being on Twitter, but um, I don't, I don't appreciate the hot take culture of Twitter
That's fair.
because it's very loaded. So I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. We're always angry about something on Twitter. So.
We all let me append. We always have to be
Ooh.
angry about
Ooh.
something. on Twitter.
Ooh. Ooh.
But that's just my hot take on it. Anyway, moving on. Moving on. Yeah, I guess that covers a good check-in. We're staying sane. We're doing what we can. Um, it's not shade, Kenny. Shade only applies if the people appreciate the truth behind it.
So it's just tea. I think looking forward though.
So Dicey Elementalist, I recommend for those who want a quick escape.
I have been enviously watching Toby play it on his iPad.
you
I look
bas-
over his shoulder
you
and like,
basically-
you're playing that game again.
You basically roll dice a la Yahtzee, so that's 3 rolls, and the matching symbols that you generate allow you to activate certain powers. So
And
if
you're fighting.
So if you're familiar with games like Slay the Spire, then it sort of has that nice feel to it. Let me just show a quick screen.
You have to up your brightness or something, or lower your brightness.
Lower, actually, because up kills it. Yeah, I'm not even paying attention to what I pressed. But it's a good quick feel for. So yeah, you have a stupid little cavern. You're fighting blob guy, and then when it starts, you have dice that roll. So blob guys there, you'll have cards that say what you can do, and the lighter cards are the ones you can activate based on the dice. But then you can choose to re-roll the dice, and then there that activates the blue one. So you can press that to cause it to happen there. So it's that simple, and it still has a fun, compelling feel to it. I'm enjoying it a lot. If I remember correctly, it's free, so grab it if you can. Any new diversions you've been playing?
I'm playing stuff, but then like I don't know. There's an itch I'm trying to scratch, and I don't know what it
So you've been
is.
playing Dark.
Oh, on PC, yeah,
Yeah.
because it was like super cheap the other week on Steam, and the game terrifies me to bits. Every time there's the enemy things like ah. But it's a puzzle game ultimately, and I like puzzle games. So like I want to solve it, but I'm also terrified.
Even if you're walking the entire time, because you did not know you can press the shift button.
I didn't know I could run.
Despite me telling you that the shift button is probably to run.
It was the other shift button apparently.
Yeah.
Only one shift
Because
button.
for some reason, Rocky thought that to move with your left hand, the shift button on the right.
Because it's so hard to like. Why are you trying to do everything in one
Everyone
hand?
does that. That's called the first person shooter control.
I'm aware of WASD, but then I don't have my pinky should be. I keep my fingers all there in WASD. Okay, I'm not gonna stretch my pinky over to shift.
Do you know that there are some people who only use these 3 fingers for WSAD
Okay.
because they save these 2 fingers for the control and shift button?
I'm not that. Look at my hand. It's like it's short. It's a short finger.
Okay, there's also Sixit. It's a free game
What are these ads?
where you're only allowed 6 moves.
Okay.
And it's all these different puzzles, and you unlock new moves. So, like, one move is you fly for a few seconds. Another move is you destroy something. So you walk around, and then you find these different encounters, and then maybe you'll destroy, fly, fly, and then it's done. 6 moves. You have to reset and go back, and you try to unlock the different puzzles by finding the different combinations.
Well,
for the
that's
6
like
moves.
the other box thing.
And it's
you would
actually
do.
similar to Dark if you think about it.
Okay.
Just that there's the 6 move limit. So I'm enjoying that. You might want to check that out.
I'm in one of my moods where I'm looking for an idle game again to play.
You should
But I
then
haven't
try
found-
Hungry Heart.
That's Hungry Hearts.
which is the Tokyo Diner game I was playing.
Oh, yeah. Cause like I'm getting tired of my Animal Kitchen thing. Cause that's not really an idle game. It's more of a clicker. And
Mhm.
then I don't want to go back to Idle Theme Park because it reaches that point where I'm waiting forever to earn
Mm-mm.
and I can't progress to the next level.
That's
Blah blah
called
blah.
We Want You to Pay.
Yeah, and I refuse, right? And then I tried the Space Colony one, which
Mhm.
feels like a ripoff of Eggs
Mm-mm.
Inc. And Eggs was still more clicker than Idle.
Mm-mm.
So I almost tried the Zombie Master one because I'd like, oh, it looks fun. You make zombies and you kill. But then I was reading the reviews and everybody's complaining that it's not every stage, but every wave is an ad. I'm like, oh, that's too many ads.
Mm.
Then I didn't bother. So I don't know. I don't know what I want to play. I'm still playing Marvel Strike Force because that's like my pro sport.
Mhm.
It's like I feel very pressured every time because I'll log in, I'll see like our leaders like, guys, we're lagging on the raid, blah blah blah. What's going on in war? Like, oh my god, I haven't done my dailies and I haven't. I'm slacking. I'm slacking. I'm a captain, in that team.
Mhm.
But then beyond that, yeah, I don't know. I just need chill stuff. So.
But yeah, that's pretty much what has been distracting us.
Yeah.
Other than the things we read, the things I need to build, such as the new shelves.
The things I need to
Uh,
unbox, which are my Transformers.
Yeah, and that is tied to the new shelves. I think I should try to build a shelf in the bedroom after the show.
Today?
Well, when?
Okay.
It's always a question of when.
Yeah, I know.
And I don't really have any other time. Weekends, we have scheduled stuff. We have to do the market. So, wala. Yeah, no, I would say, or we could hire a handyman, but no, the
No,
building won't allow
can't
us.
have people outside.
Maybe I should talk to them.
And
I'll
then
be like, I want guests. We bribe them to have visitors. Oh my god, that's crazy.
I think the only thing I'll share is that I'm kind of getting stressed out thinking that, crap, it's June, and then June means it's Pride, Gay Pride, or LGBT Pride, and then we're gonna be stuck at home. I don't think anything can really happen, and I'm not in the mood for online Pride events. So then I don't know.
Yeah.
It just makes me sad. It just makes me sad that it's gonna be another Pride indoors. But then I'm pretty sure it's gonna be another birthday for me indoors in August. So
I feel that that's going to be for the next 2 years. Might as well just accept it. Because, it won't be till 2 years. It won't be until 2 years from now
that there's another government
that there will be changes finally happening.
in theory.
But my God, please spend time to talk to your friends, family, cousins, co-workers, and acquaintances. Vote. And no, money is not any better. All right, let's, I guess, wrap it up.
What a somber note to wrap this up on. Hey,
It is,
hope you're all doing okay.
it is a somber note. And worse, we haven't mapped out yet the coming week, but we
Yeah.
will have the announcements for that out soon.
Somehow.
As far as this episode is concerned, however, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We had a lot of fun, and we hope you'll join us again next time.
For questions or suggestions for future episodes, fill up the Google form at bit.ly Baduy Pride Ideas. You can follow us on Twitter, Altobi No Shade, RG Suniko.
You could also check out our blog, baduypride.com, for all the previous episodes and stuff about us.
Feel free to continue the conversation in the comments below. How are you holding up? What is your ray of sunshine in the darkness? Just share your tips.
Mhm.
And be sure to subscribe for notifications, whether on Facebook or YouTube, so you don't miss our next live stream. Once again, I'm Rocky.
And I'm Toby.
And this is
Baduy Pride.
Good night, everyone.